the Senate over there pushing for funding for a new department or something to catalog all this information. We don't need that. What we need is NASA. We need the Pentagon, Department of Defense. Just release these files. Quit giving us these redacted pieces of paper that look like Swiss cheese. Somebody shot it with a 12 gauge because there's nothing on it, and start bringing it forward. And two, Congress needs to exercise its power of the purse. We need to get some guts. It doesn't need to just be me and a couple other people talking about the wasteful spending that the war pimps over at the Pentagon are doing. They're audited every year, and they've never passed an audit. And they don't have to. The arrogance of them is incredible. Unelected bureaucrats
Congressman,
are telling your elected officials what to do.
Congressman, just last question for you. I want to get and stick to the nature of the questioning, your questioning today in the hearing, and I want to get you to respond to this just lastly. You asked David Grush if he had, quote, personal knowledge of people who have been harmed or injured in efforts to cover up or conceal these extraterrestrial technology. He answered in the affirmative. Why did you ask that question? Why did you feel like you needed to ask that question?
I've been told by numerous sources that was the case, and we've had people threatened, and we had people that were supposed to testify, and then they received a phone call and decided maybe it wasn't in their best interest. So this is hardball. You're talking about an energy source that shows no heat trail. That in the Tic Tac videos, I would ask your audience to Google Tic Tac, not TikTok, not the Chinese Communist propaganda, but Tic Tac like the candy, and watch those videos and listen to what those pilots say. They defy everything we have. This craft, they're not of this world. No one in this world has these craft. It's not the Chinese, it's not the Russians, and it's not us. Because if it was us, we wouldn't be experimenting with them around our $50 million aircraft and the best trained pilots in the world. And we've had 14 documented near misses. So I think there's a lot to be said for this. We've got to have some more hearings, but the cover up needs to end. And I appreciate folks contacting their legislators and saying enough with this. Let's have some transparency.
All right, Congressman Tim Burchett there, the Republican from Tennessee. We do appreciate your time. We know you've had a busy day, and we'll definitely be speaking again. Thanks so much.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate y'all.
Okay, so what we want to do right now is just continue to play a little bit more of this hearing today on Capitol Hill, and you're going to hear from these three witnesses really describing in detail, and I hate to use this cliche here, things that are out of this world. You've heard the term used time and again in this hearing today. Let's listen.
Were you recently injured in a car accident? Look at this check for $106.
By thanking you all for your service to our country and for sharing your voices today and your courage to be here as well. To Mr. Graves, particularly grateful to you to spend some time that we had for you to share with candor some of your experiences. So I appreciate that as well. I do want to thank all the members of our subcommittee today and also those that are here and have waved on for their incredible interest in this issue, particularly to Congressman Burchett. I know that your leadership has brought us to this place today, and I want to thank you for that, as well as everyone else that's been engaged in this work. I also want to thank the oversight staff, who I know has been working very hard to ensure that today's hearing is serious, that it's transparent, and that it also provides appropriate answers, as our oversight body always demands. Now, it's really important that we're here in a bipartisan way to have this conversation, which really, to the heart of it, is about national security and key to the subcommittee's core purpose. This is the subcommittee on national security of the Oversight Committee. Now, our witnesses will testify today that UAPs have posed a serious safety threat, and we must understand this. More broadly, we're dealing with real questions that get to the heart of our faith in government. Faith in our institutions, as we all know, is at an all-time low. Partisanship and alternative facts make it too easy to doubt narrative or our institutions. But this hearing will offer the public unique perspectives, building on years of reporting by both federal agencies and the independent media. Now, some of the earliest reporting on this issue was a groundbreaking 2017 New York Times report, which revealed research, as we know now, on unidentified anomalous phenomena, or as many call UFOs, by the Defense Intelligence Agency. Mr. Graves and Commander Favor's experiences with UAPs have also been documented by the public, not just by the New York Times, but CNN and many other national news outlets. Now, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence has published public reports documenting UAPs, and on June 9, 2022, NASA announced that the agency is commissioning a study to, of course, examine unidentified anomalous phenomena. Now, the sheer number of reports, whistleblowers, and stories of unidentified anomalous phenomena should raise real questions and warrant investigation and oversight. And that's why we are here today. Now, pilots have reported encounters for years. Now, because of the stigma around reporting these incidents, we still don't have a complete picture of actually what's going on, particularly as our witnesses will testify on the civilian side. And that is a real problem that we have today in the country. Now, it's very important that we show that Democrats and Republicans in Congress can come together in a bipartisan way to cut through misinformation and to look at the facts in a serious and thoughtful manner. If we are to advance oversight and public disclosure, we must also gain the broad support of the public. We will succeed getting facts out to the public faster if there is a broad public support as part of the process. Now, I understand fully the Department of Defense is hesitant to share information that could also undermine our national security by revealing information on the capabilities of our own aircraft, our sensors, and other sensitive material. At the same time, many people believe that we're withholding information from them, and that is dangerous also. I believe in openness and transparency. That is also the role of Congress, and I want to trust that the American people will be able to weigh the evidence and make up their own minds. Now, we have incidents where sensors, sometimes even multiple types of sensors, detect things that we cannot explain. UAPs, whatever they may pose a serious threat to our military or civilian aircraft, and that must be understood. Now, my career and training as a longtime and career educator and teacher and researcher tell me that we should never rule anything out.
All right, so those look like opening statements are happening right now. We wanted to replay a little bit of this for you there. What happened on the House side on Capitol Hill today? Everyone's talking about this hearing, what we gleaned, what was revealed from it. So we just spoke with one of the members of Congress who was on the panel asking those witnesses questions. But we want to get into it a little deeper as well, not only talking about the politics of it, but also what was revealed and what does it mean? Because it is somewhat difficult to comprehend the fact that terms like non-human biologics are even being discussed out in the open on Capitol Hill nonetheless. So right now, let's bring into the conversation some friends of the program here on Live Now from Fox, UFO expert Nick Pope, who joins me, who we have been relying on here throughout the course of the afternoon, and a friend of the program, Brian Bender, who has written about this extensively as well. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being with us, Brian and Nick. Nick, I want to start with you, though, about, I guess, your key takeaways from the hearing today. Did you find out anything that you had not heard before today?
Well, I think I've been talking to some of these people, so I kind of knew a little bit of what was coming. But I think what was extraordinary was hearing all these stories that you'd seen in the media, and you see them on UFO Twitter. But now we're seeing them on the floor in Congress. And that's hugely important because these three witnesses today testifying under oath, placing this on the record and basically issuing a challenge, I think, to Congress to say, look, you know, within the bounds of confidentiality and the laws about not divulging classified information without lawful authority, here is where to look. And there were some pretty heavy hints dropped about where to look. And David Grush in particular essentially said, you know, if we can get into the secure facility, we will tell you, I will tell you where these programs are.
If you have bed bugs and live in the Kansas City metro area, Lawrence, Topeka, St. Joseph, or the surrounding,
he basically telling them, hey, I'm gonna point it out. So the double standard on this is why dude can snitch about UFOs, snitch on the government, but then when people in the street snitch, it's a problem. But everybody gets to snitch on the government, right? Crazy.
political angle to this. The DOD is still really not going on the record with a lot of this. They're trying to throw cold water on this. In a statement, DOD spokeswoman Sue Goff said investigators have not discovered, quote, any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. There is some tension with these whistleblowers today, these witnesses on Capitol Hill, and the larger DOD apparatus. Do you think they'll ever meet on good terms?
Well, two things come to mind on that question. The first is we have to understand that the Pentagon has an office now that was set up by Congress, last year by law, that is supposed to be the focal point for gathering up whatever we know or the government knows about UAP. It's still a very open question about whether that office, called AARO for short, the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, it's kind of a terrible Pentagon acronym, is actually getting all of the information that might reside at the CIA, the National Reconnaissance Office, the National Geospatial Intelligence Office, the FBI. I mean, there are 24 or more intelligence agencies in our government. And the idea that they're all just digging through the files and just coughing up everything they know on this topic, I think this probably isn't the case. So I think the Pentagon is, in their defense, I think they're hamstrung to some extent. I mean, they don't necessarily know everything there is to know. And that's what I think Congress understands, that they need to force this issue, force these bureaucracies to come clean, so to speak, whatever that might be, whether it's little green men or alien bodies or crashed UFOs or, something short of that, maybe puzzle pieces, if you will. And the second part of that is if you listen to the Pentagon spokesperson's quote today, it's obviously very carefully worded. And I don't think that denial, which is what people read it as, necessarily is a denial. I think you could say what they said and still have, quote unquote, puzzle pieces that they have not quite yet figured out what they are.
Okay.
In other words, maybe they have something that really is out there, but they have not yet concluded scientifically, et cetera, exactly what it is and where it comes from. So that's sort of their out. They can say that and not really be lying.
Okay. Brian and Nick, it does seem like, and Brian, you know this so well, there's so many substrata and hierarchies within the DOD, different departments and agencies and sub-agencies where this kind of all filters down. And that's where kind of David Grush, the key witness today, comes in. He was working for some of those agencies, really tasked with this mandate about finding out what this is and what the U.S. government knows about it. And first, I want to start with you, Brian, then get you to chime in here, Nick. Is David Grush a credible witness and whistleblower? Do you have faith in him that he is acting on his own goodwill?
I think the answer is yes. I mean, I've interacted with David a little bit, not recently, but in his government role. And I think he's, his resume stands up. Everyone who's worked with him, at least those that have come forth publicly, all, have given ringing endorsements that he's the real deal. He's a credible person. He has the background. He has the clearances. But the one caveat there real quick is that he is the first to say that his claims of crash retrieval programs, biologics, in other words, alien bodies or parts of bodies, is all secondhand. In other words, he was told this by people on the inside who claim to have had direct knowledge.
Yeah.
And so I think that's important. He hasn't seen what he's describing, but he does tell Congress that behind closed doors in a classified session, he can provide much more detail on the where and the when and the who and the why. Yeah. But until we see that, it's hard to know, is it just a galactic game of telephone?
Yeah, and that was a caveat a lot today where Grush was essentially saying, well, I can answer that in a closed session. Nick, I was also, kind of curious as well. We heard a lot about, the U.S. government's efforts to try to, hone whatever this technology of non-human origin, you heard that phrase a lot today, is, and you heard the phrase reverse engineer. What's going on there? Is there an effort underway, or did we learn that today, that the U.S. government is trying to reverse engineer some of this technology that we've never seen before?
Well, I think it's self-evident that if the United States has indeed recovered some craft, some maybe wreckage, but some intact, as David Grush says, self-evidently, yeah, the scientists, the engineers, the military folks would want to figure this out, because it would be the ultimate upgrade to the United States inventory. I mean, if we could figure any of this out. And it's what's in government often called a sort of low probability, high impact scenario. Even if you're skeptical about this, the payoff, if any of this turns out to be true, is so vast that you need to be in the game. And I think Congress, what we saw today was Congress saying we need to be in the game. And the phrase that came up at the end of the hearing when they went around the witnesses and said, the quick fire round, as it were, is any of this a potential existential threat to the United States? And the answers were yes and potentially yes. That's important.
Yeah. But when you hear the term of non-human origin, it's so hard to conceive. I mean, how do they come to that conclusion or that determination? What evidence do they rely on? How do they make that determination? Brian.
I mean, it's the gazillion-dollar question, right? I mean, the official government position as of, today, July 26, 2023, is we don't have evidence of what you just described. Now we have a whistleblower who claims they're lying effectively. And so what is the truth? My sense is it's somewhere in between, probably. There could be programs that are so secret that even the leadership of the Pentagon doesn't know about them. Certainly oversight committees in Congress don't know about them, especially if they were decades upon decades ago. But, again, I think what we saw today, which I guess was probably my biggest takeaway, is a very determined bipartisan effort in Congress to get to the bottom of this. Whether they will be able to get to the bottom of the rabbit hole, I think no one really knows. But they seem determined to throw punches and to ask questions and to write new legislation, forcing these agencies to do more, to gather more, to report more. And, I had an editor once who said the biggest stories don't just come out, they ooze out. Huh. And I think this is in that category. It's going to ooze out. If there is something there, it's not just going to be a big press conference and they pull the curtain back and here's what we have.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be that simple, unfortunately, for all of us.
Okay. And, Nick, I mean, in your years of studying all of this, did you ever expect it would be out in full view on plain display, like in a hearing on Capitol Hill today? And you were kind of alluding to the fact that, you learned some things new, you heard some things you hadn't heard before. Did you ever expect that in your decades-long career studying all of this unidentified aerial phenomena?
Well, I think those of us who've looked at this from within government have always recognized that this is a defense, national security, and safety of flight issue. But no, I don't think I ever expected to see it get this kind of mainstream political engagement. And in these divided times, picking up on Brian's point, in these divided political times, in a sense, it's kind of refreshing that something has brought Republicans and Democrats so closely together in this quest for the truth. And how amazing that thing is something as interesting and important as UFOs.
Yeah, I mean, there was a line of questioning today to David Grush, though, about whether or not he knows of, and I'm paraphrasing here, if there were any physical or professional threats against him or others in relation to, being a whistleblower, divulging some of this, to which he answered in the affirmative. But then we brought on Tim Burchett, the congressman from Tennessee, the Republican. He asked David Grush if anyone has been murdered as part of the conspiracy to keep UFOs secret, and he kind of demurred there. I just want to end on that because that was really the most dramatic line of questioning, I thought. Was that for theatrics, Brian, do you think, or is that at play here?
I mean, I think it's important to mention that Congressman Burchett, who has been a leader on this issue, has also made some very outlandish claims himself without providing evidence. So I thought that was a good part of theatrics, a little bit of, sort of the X-Files, and
Sure.
maybe a kernel of truth that there have been people who have been, have have seen retribution if they have spoken out on this, but it's really hard to know. I mean, until we have more people like David Grush coming forward, until Congress really sees the goods, I mean, we're still far away from, the truth is out there.
Okay. Nick, just lastly, also, do you expect more whistleblowers? Do you expect more reported sightings now that it is really in full view?
Yes,
I hope
and
so.
yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, when Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, who heads up Arrow, last testified to the NASA committee, he said that there were around 24 whistleblowers who had come forward. So there's definitely more to come, and there will be more congressional hearings for sure in the Senate and the House. Not just the Oversight Committee that we saw today, but the Armed Services Committees and the Intelligence Committees.
Just one last point that
Sure.
I would make is just simply, two of the witnesses today are these former military pilots, Ryan Graves and David Fravor. And I think we'd be remiss if we don't highlight that they're coming at this issue pretty agnostic in terms of what these might be. And the point they're making is whatever you think these might be, credible military commercial pilots are reporting unidentified flying objects, unidentified aerial phenomenon nearly every day.
Wow.
And they don't know what they are. And they're a safety hazard potentially, not just for military pilots, for us, the flying public. And it's our government's role to know what's in our sovereign airspace, whatever it may be, whoever it might be. And I think a lot of the things that are up there probably have a very earthly explanation, but it sounds like some of them don't seem to. And so I think we're going to see more hearings. I think we're going to see more whistleblowers. At least, I hope so, because if this is all there is, I fear that, the conversation will sort of drip away and we won't get a lot of answers.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that. Gentlemen, Brian Bender, Nick Pope, thanks so much. That was a great conversation on this huge story today, and we'll talk again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I chose Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and freedom of creation. Being able to integrate and...
All right, I was done. All right. I'm trying to see if UFOs is out here. I'm trying to see if UFOs already landed. So if y'all out there and y'all think UFOs already landed, let me know, because I'm confused. I am confused, man. I don't know what to think. I don't know. Let's watch this oversight committee.
For the amount of work that it took to put this hearing in place, and certainly to all the members that have been involved in this issue prior to the hearing. I also want to note for our witnesses and for the public that I'm a freshman member of Congress and I've only been here for 7 months, but this is by far the most bipartisan conversation and discussion that I have seen happen in the Congress. And I think that a topic of this significance as it relates to our national security, as it relates to information that we're trying to gather for the American public, does bring people together, and I think that's been really great to see. I think it's also important to note for the public, today in our hearing, we had on our side also both our full ranking member, which is Mr. Raskin, and our vice ranking member, which is Ms. Ocasio-Cortez, both here at our hearing. I think it shows the importance and seriousness that our side of the aisle is taking to this important hearing, but also to the broader issue as it relates to working with our Republican counterparts on this committee. I want to additionally add that I think it's really important that we have and continue these discussions and these hearings. Clearly, there's a lot of information that we don't know, but it's also very clear that we have to continue our investigation and accountability on asking the right questions and ensuring that they're part of the public record. One thing that was important today is some folks might wonder, why are we asking questions that might already be out there or that have been asked before? it's important that they're asked and put into the public record as it relates to this committee. And so I want to thank you for, answering some questions multiple times. I know not just in maybe meetings you had with some members, but also here in the public. Let me also just add an additional note that it's important also that our friends in the media and those that are not just reporting on this hearing, but that have reported on
Find out how much your vehicle is worth right now at HendrickCars.com. Just enter your license.
I'm a longtime teacher and researcher, that I also really believe in following facts, in doing your homework, and making sure that you follow science
Do your homework.
as we try to give as much
Like Jay
information as
Main
possible.
say.
And so I want to thank you all for agreeing to do that today. Transparency is a cornerstone of government. We live in a vast galaxy.
Jay
A
Main,
lot of unanswered.
Jay Main that made it to the government. He said, do your homework.
Thank you.
your
I'd like to
homework.
one more
Always
time
say
thank
do your homework.
Mr. Burchett, Ms. Luna for bringing this to our attention. It's a topic that has interested me since I was in school. It was a very illuminating hearing. Obviously, I think several of us are going to look forward to getting some answers in a more confidential setting. I assume some legislation will come out of this. Sure.
I apologize, Mr. Chairman. I need to compliment the folks in my office that did a lot of the work on this. Rachel and Noah sitting behind me here. They're very quiet and humble, but if without them, this thing would not have come off like it did. So I apologize.
Thank you. I think we're going to want to look into what we can do to make more of this information public. I think there's certainly a time period after which it should always be made public, and people have been concerned about these issues, like I said, since I was in high school. But in any event, I'd like to thank everybody who was here, sticking through the entire hearing. Without objection, without objection, the chair may declare a recess at any time. Additionally, without objection, the following members are waived onto the subcommittee for the purpose of participating in today's hearing: Mr. Burchett of Tennessee, Ms. Luna of Florida, Mr. Getz of Florida, Mr. Burleson of Missouri, Mrs. Ocasio-Cortez of New York, and Mr. Ogles of Tennessee. Without objection, so ordered. For today's subcommittee hearing, both the chair and ranking member will have 10 minutes for opening remarks. We may both be giving some of those minutes.
All right, that just started over. I'm trying to get some of these people over here to join my live stream. Come on over. Yeah. There's just 432 people sitting here watching the rewind. That's crazy, bro. And I got 3 people. Shout out my 3 people, y'all. I rock with y'all heavy.
Any shout outs or closing remarks you want to leave with the people?
Yeah, shout out to my set. That's the only shout out I want to give. That's the only shout out I'm gonna give. Shout out to 300. That's it. That's all. The
Say you
lamb,
better say something for the people. You just went crazy.
the lamb, you hear me?
Dirk, Chirac, where we at, y'all? J-Town, any brother $1 million.
Any shout outs or closing remarks you want to leave with the people?
Yeah, shout out to my set. That's the only shout out I want to give. That's the only shout out I'm gonna give. Shout out to 300. That's it. That's all. The
Say you gotta
lamb,
say something for the people. You just went crazy.
the lamb, you hear me?
Little Dirk, Chirac, where we at, y'all? Tay-Town, and he brought Tay-Town, and he brought $1 million.
Any
I don't get it. They be clickbaiting. It hit different when they clickbait. They clickbait a lot. Let's see Adam. Let's watch Adam in this dude interview.
Y'all got famous ops? Who you smoking on?
A lot. I'm smoking a lot of people,
Who you
folks. But I
smoking
ain't
on?
you trying to do too much, but I'm smoking a lot. Y'all just head motherfucker on this bitch too.
Fiber.google.
Yeah, BD, I could be saying I ain't even saying about your wife though. I'm cooling right now, for like I could be on there with your wife, for my homie. You trending everywhere, for you let your how you like.
You said you could be on it with my wife?
I could be on there with her, like.
I'm gonna have to knock somebody out. What's up, man? Do I got anybody in here want to talk about UFOs?
All right, guys, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update about the Patreon
Because I think
/ OnlyFans.
I think everything is about to implode. But nah, it's about to come to light. I believe it. Let's see. I don't like Adam doing the Vlad method. Just put the whole video out. Adam, put the whole video out. Let's see.
But so besides being a BD, what set are you from? Specifically,
I'm Trigger Gang.
What?
Trey Gang?
I'm Trigger.
Hey, y'all leave a comment.
Gang?
I'm Trigger Gang.
Trigger Gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
39.
All right.
Cottage, King Drive.
Okay.
Oakwood, you know.
Okay.
Y'all got famous ops? Who you smoking on?
A lot. I'm smoking a lot of people,
Who you
folks. But I
smoking
ain't
on?
you trying to do too much. But I'm smoking a lot of niggas. Y'all just head motherfucker on this bitch too. The little blazer shorty.
Yeah. I heard you dissing her mom and shit, dissing her, talking about clapping her
because she
cheeks.
I ain't gonna lie, for I catch a neck from my ass for, but
What, you think she bad?
Nah, her ass bogus for. She pop dookie for. I ain't gonna lie.
She what?
She pop dookie for.
What does
Pop dookie?
pop and dookie mean?
She pop dookie.
What's that mean?
Pop shit on King David.
Okay.
Bogus on BD.
Oh.
She bogus as hell.
Not what? Yeah, I ain't.
That's what he's saying.
Great
She
girl.
bogus
Yeah.
as
I
hell.
love her.
I ain't even
Yeah,
trying
I
to do
think
that
she's
though.
cool
Look, I ain't
people.
even.
I'm a
trying to make-
GD lover though. Oh, that's
What?
crazy. You know I fuck with
On
all
King
of them.
David.
I am. I fuck with them.
Nigga said, hey.
Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it.
That nigga said, hey.
I'll take sides. You know we had hella GDs here in the last few
Nah,
months.
GDK, shorty.
Yeah, I
On
know you
Grandma
are.
Larry, you tweaking.
I can't afford to do that. I got to interview everybody.
He said, not
His
my
ass
life.
tweaking.
Mm-mm.
All right, but so you having hatred towards the
That dude
GDs
corny.
is that
The way he stood up and did all that. It's cool that he didn't react, but that was corny, bro. Only to sit back down.
because of specific things that happen to you in real life, or is
Yeah,
that you
that's the
just
shit that
keeping up
happens to me
tradition?
in real life, folks.
Okay. Like any specific
Yeah, I don't
situations?
fuck with GDs, gang. Like, I don't.
Can you remember the
If you
first
was-
time
I'ma
that a
keep it
GD that you got into it, or maybe like school, nigga, the neighborhood, like
King
what's your
David,
first
I was 9.
experience?
I was like 9 years old.
Break it down.
On BD.
Tell us, break it down. What happened?
I'm at Plumber Park, for I'm at the swimming pool on King Dave, for I'm trying to sneak in that bitch. There's a lot of kids over there, a lot of kids, folks. I ain't see who they was though. I ain't never seen their face. I ain't never seen them over here though. But we had like in the hundreds, folks. Like that's Plumber Park. We got the biggest pool. Everybody used to come over there.
Okay.
Like everybody, you come down the hill, go swimming type shit as a kid on bees. So I'm through that bitch though. I'm like, hey, open the door for me. They what you is? I'm BD. Hey, you BD? You BD? We BDK. Oh yeah, what? What? Oh, show me your video. Boy, they jumpy, gang. On King David, they jumpy,
A
folks.
whole bunch of kids at the
I got
pool?
jumped out some GDs for when I was a kid, folks.
I'm
On
picturing
BD.
like a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Younger?
Nah, they was like
The grown
10,
people.
folks. 11, folks.
This nigga
No older than
Nigga, the fifth grader.
no older than 12, folks. I was like 9,
put
folks.
hand and feet
Oh,
on.
you were 9. Okay.
Yeah, I'll never forget that on BD, folks.
Damn. So that turned your heart cold?
Yeah, for I ain't like
You
not
like,
even
fuck them
not even
niggas.
that. For I ain't there's a lot of shit be out of this, folks. But I got as a kid, folks, I got jumped out some GDs, folks.
Right.
They was up the hill, folks.
So that's
And
when
they
you knew it was
from,
up.
from 119, folks, on BD.
So are you a kid?
119th. That sound like 11-9.
Yeah.
What you mean? So what the fuck? So how you know about that? How you know?
Explain. What are you getting at here?
Explain.
Yeah, explain.
He said 119th. 11-9 would be Lil Mouse and them niggas.
Oh.
Hella bands.
Okay.
Rest
in
all
peace, Hella
that's
Bands.
Your ops. Oh
tweaking,
shit.
man.
Oh shit. That was your ops back in the
Oh,
day,
fuck.
nigga.
Oh,
He said you don't fuck with them niggas.
nah, back then I know them. They used to be down the hill too. They cool, but I ain't fuck them on video. I ain't gonna like on King David.
Okay. So some little niggas from that area is
Yeah,
who
I
jumped
don't-
you,
I
and then
don't
you was
really-
like,
I
I'm
don't-
on that
nah,
now.
We don't motherfucking don't.
So
Fuck
you okay? You're
them,
you're
man.
like
I
a
ain't-
Sosa
I
fan, and you're watching Dirk and all this stuff. I assume. Are you also like hate watching King Yella and all these fucking
So
GD
dude
rappers?
said something about me in the interview, for and he tried to act like he ain't know who I was on King David.
Okay.
How you feel about that?
He a goofy, for I ain't, that's a grown ass goofy on BD.
What do you say? Do you remember? What do you say?
The look he say the little famous rich. Nah, he ain't even talking. He said the nigga from Sugar Mom. I had the Sugar Mom back then. I was going viral with the old white lady, the Sugar Mama on BD. If you was Chicago, you know what I'm talking about. But he said the little nigga with the Sugar Mama, the little bitty nigga slid up on me talking about in a DM, say, "Oh, you GD for you with that?" He just I don't know. He just talking crazy for my homies. I don't know. He woofing though. He lying on my name. For he was trying to chase. During that time, I was lit. He was just chasing clout. I didn't show you that shit. I didn't show you that shit.
Well, he's a YouTuber now, so you got to talk about all the interesting
he a
shit going
YouTuber
on.
now?
Well, I mean, raps too, but he's going hard with the YouTube
I
shit.
don't be paying attention to none of that shit. I be in my own lane, gang. I don't be like that's like for them. They grown, and they older than me too.
But
it's
so when
like,
you were
they
younger, were you
goofies, though,
watching the
like-
ops videos and everything? Like when you were younger, like with the whole BDGD thing was going crazy.
Who like
JoJo,
bunch
Yella,
of them,
Lil
yeah.
J, Billionaire.
Hell, I wasn't
Duck.
watching it. Y'all seen their videos, but
You
yeah,
wasn't
to see
fucking
what they
with
was
that
talking
shit?
about.
You weren't rocking out to
See
it.
if that was
I ain't
dissing.
gonna lie, folks. On King Dave, folks. Like, and motherfucker can lie too. Some of the guys can lie, folks. I ain't gonna lie, folks. Lil Jojo dropped that tied up, folks. On my homies, folks. He fucked the rack up with that, folks.
That's
Really?
He dropped that tied up,
Nigga,
folks.
where he put the little fake
And-
Chief Keef in the
and that-
video, tied him up and shit. It was Lil
Yeah,
Mister.
folks, but the motherfucker ain't fucking with the, that was just doing that time, folks. I'm gonna keep it 100 on BD.
That shit was hard, basically.
I'ma keep it
That was the
100,
opposite, but
bro,
that shit
like-
was hard. That's what you're
Niggas
saying.
listen to us, niggas listen to them, but I was, that shit dead though. Like now that shit dead, motherfucker not even,
How'd you feel when JoJo died?
I ain't even gonna laugh for. That was like a celebration on King Dave.
Oh, you a demon.
I never forget that, for. That was a celebration, for. I
Yeah?
was happy, for.
Really?
On my dead, I was happy, for. I did not cry, for.
Not you damn near cried.
I was on King Day. Hold on, what that was? September. That was
September
right before
2013.
school, fool. That was
September
right before
2012.
school.
I remember.
Right before school started.
Wow, that was right before school. That bitch was. I'm talking about the whole.
Rest in peace to that man.
Shorty, I ain't even gonna lie, folks. Because when he was alive, folks, everybody was trolling. He fucked the.
He had everybody.
Everybody know Sosa hit it. Game. That's game. I know he hit it. He hit the rack. But I ain't gonna lie, folks. he had it. He was responding. You know, but like, Fono was lit too, folks. But like, after he died on my own, that was a celebration, folks.
But no disrespect to JoJo or anything, but Keith did have like one of the most legendary tweets of all time after that shit happened, where he said like, "LOL, he just wanted to be like us." That was crazy.
Rest in peace to that, man. Rest in peace to that.
That's when a lot of us realized how real shit was. Like as people who were just kind of watching, we're like, "Oh shit!" Like,
yeah, nah, that's
really
a
like
fact.
that.
One
Yeah.
day I was watching that nigga on YouTube, and then the next day that nigga was gone. I was hurt.
Yeah.
I was hurt like I was from there. I was
That
like,
shit,
damn.
I'm like, that was a celebration, folks. Everybody was.
It was a BD celebration.
Everybody was. They was outside that day, folks. With my homie.
Demon time. That's crazy.
Like, I know that September 4th when he died. September 4th.
Yep. I think maybe September 12th or 11th, something like that.
9th, the 8th.
It was early
8th.
September. I remember. It was early September, like 2012 or 2013. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
What makes Arcade tight is they have all these sounds for space. You know, it's just
That dude would not live long. That is crazy. Did y'all see the way he just playing a character, bro? He just want to be. He's just the wannabe. He wanna be. I don't like this dude. King Dave. I do not like this dude.
Like real life.
On
going
where?
on her.
Huh?
Going on her, folks. On my dead homies, folks. On Biddy, folks.
We're about to have a little Kelpie situation.
Listen, nah. Shorty. I was never going back home after she ate her own cream for them shit. Like,
Oh, you feel some type of way about the situation? is what
It's a
you're saying.
porn thing.
what you mean it's a porn thing?
So you'll never let your bitch get crammed on camera?
Hell no, for we not even.
Not for the bag?
And I don't even know what type of shit you really on, because this shit deeper than that. Is you on some ritual sacrificing shit? I don't know what type of shit you
You
on.
think that's an Illuminati ritual?
Yeah, what type of shit
So
you
you
on?
think
Is
he just
tryna-
sacrificed his wife, cat?
I'll explain it to you off camera.
Is you trying to finesse your way in the community like that? Like,
He might be
Yeah,
trying to recruit
That's
you.
how I was trying to give back to the black community.
He might be trying to
on my
recruit you.
dead homies, on King David. Next time you think about some shit like that, call me, folks.
You got no dick game.
So I got an 8 piece on my homies, an 8.
Let's see it. Put it on the table.
Pause,
Put it on the table. I'll grab the windows after. We can clean it up.
Nigga, the table finna get pregnant, nigga. This is crazy.
Nigga, hey, we gonna have to sanitize. Hey, Mikey,
I'm telling you, shorty,
nigga, y'all gonna have to
don't tweet.
sanitize this shit, nigga. The table
And we
might
gonna
be
make a
pregnant.
bag, shorty.
How did we even end up on this? I was just asking you a regular
Because
question.
you was
He
being
said
too,
stop
you just-
playing with me because
you just be saying some
smash your
random
wife
crazy
is what he
shit,
basically
folks.
No, what was that? What was the random part?
Tell me, I asked mom, do she like, is that his sister, all type of shit?
Well, no, I actually did ask you that.
This guys be tweeting.
We're gonna have to clean up his dick slime off the table afterwards. He was just humping the table, and
Yeah.
it sounds like he hasn't been tested in a while.
I'm trying to put his wife in a blender. Fuck is you talking about?
It's not gonna happen. You have no resume.
What you mean?
You got to get your dick game.
The
up
guy
for him.
who
That's what he's
she
saying.
did her scene with is a famous porn star.
On BD, he
You
did not
understand?
hit that the right way.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
On King David, he did not hit that the right
Well,
way.
he can't-
Black people
he's
do
not
not
Adam
fuck.
22.
I'm gonna tell you like this: black people do not fuck like that. On my homies, and
Well, he
You
is
watched
black.
it? I didn't watch
what?
it.
Yeah, but Nate Shorty, what?
I didn't watch
On
it.
my dead, on King Dave, I would have cracked. If I cracked that on one time, folks, she coming with me for my.
I don't think so.
On
She
King,
don't like little kids.
look kids.
Yeah.
I'm
Coming back to New York with me.
I'm an upper roll. I'm an upper roll. Oh, B, stop tweaking with me. Shorty, check it out. What we doing? I'm an upper roll.
What's that, like $400?
Not
Hell no.
216. Hey, this nigga
This
is
2 bands to
funny
be
as
exact. I ain't gonna lie.
fuck,
This
bro.
enough to go out to eat though.
That is not two
He says
bands.
enough to
Oh,
go out to
BD.
eat.
That's a light 2 bands.
It's enough to go out to eat on BD.
Yeah.
It's like 908.
Nah. On my homies, we get like, I ain't on King
You
Dave.
might have to count both sides. You're trying to do the Kodak thing.
He says
Oh,
enough to
BD,
take her on a date. This nigga stupid as fuck.
He tweaking.
Oh my god.
Hey, you funny, bro.
Yeah.
You funny ass.
On BD.
You're real funny.
Nigga.
Nah, you be tweaking, ain't you? Be tweaking, gang.
You real funny.
You be tweaking, gang. What you?
Kelpie moment.
Why is you looking at me like that? For why is you on Biddy? Why is you looking at me like that? On King David, shorty. Where's you from? On my homies, for where you from?
Let's just finish the
You from LA though?
Let's just finish the interview.
You ain't even cut like that.
I'm from New Hampshire.
On my New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, your ass a square.
Nah.
You a
we get
square.
down in New Hampshire. You think O Block something? New Hampshire's where it
Shorty.
really go down at.
Shorty, you a goofy. I ain't gonna lie, but you ain't even cut like that.
You about to get little kelpie.
Any nigga that
You're gonna
just
get kelpie.
on my homies, any nigga that get a bitch up for grabs, for shorty, you don't love yourself, folks.
It's a business thing. It's a porn thing.
It's not no porn.
I understand
thing,
you don't
gang.
get it.
Fo, if you going home to that, you can't get it up to grabs, fo, unless you swinging. You swinging?
Yeah.
Oh, that's different. That's
Think of
different.
it like that.
Oh, he on some Will Smith, Jada Pinkett shit.
Yeah, think of it like that.
Oh,
It don't matter to you that me and her have done like 300 threesomes before this.
If you swinging, why the fuck was that the first time that a black nigga hit that?
Because that was the first time we swung like that. And it was not the first time a black person hit it. She was in the streets long before me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she said she got stressed out.
Why is he making this a classic? Why is he filming this? I know you're not gonna leak this.
She said
hey, Larry Bird, you can't leak this. Come on, man.
She said she got stressed out on King David.
I mean, hey, yeah, you seen it, right? That's a real weapon.
Oh, my homies opening her ass up, shorty.
That was crazy.
Oh, believe.
Bro,
I ain't gonna lie.
Chill.
Nah,
You gotta chill. We got a track record in here.
What you mean?
We beat people up in this room.
On my homies, I went all in on King David. I went all in.
Shit.
Oh my God, what just
Hey,
happened?
I have no clue.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. You gonna go down. Look.
Blood on the wall
So you
behind
gonna
you?
go down? Well,
You should have
oh,
blood
that's
on the
what
wall
you did
behind
to do with us?
Yeah, that's how we do niggas.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't never clean that up?
Nah, you can't.
That's just in the wall of fame,
We
huh?
left it up as a sacrifice.
Okay,
Wall of Fame. You
You
had to, you know?
I focus you on that.
Had to do
You
that
be
thing.
pack number 2.
Stop tweaking with me, gang.
We be smoking on Rich.
Stop tweaking with me, gang.
I'm not
Nah, on
tweaking.
some
You
real shit.
tweaking.
Hey, look. I'm gonna get.
He's smoking up your
You ain't
said-
even
you said
gone
you
yet. We
smoking
already
me?
smoking on you.
Oh my, stop tweaking with me, gang. Stop tweaking with me, bro. Nah, dude, stop tweaking with me, gang. Stop
I'm scared.
Stop tweaking with me, gang. Before I do that to you, gang. Why you tweaking with me, gang? Stop tweaking with me, gang. Before I do that to you, gang. Stop tweaking.
Hey, it look like you got them paws, Adam. You look like you got them paws,
Why you
Adam.
tweaking with me?
I'm like
Billy
Crit Mac
Smoking
and
on his
Blueface
ass.
backstage, you know?
You might have to back it down.
God damn. I wish I could
Why
take
you
a pipe
tweaking with
on
me?
right now.
I'm a control him, bro.
Nah, you ain't even cut like that,
He ain't
though.
gonna tweak with you no more, bro. I got
Yeah.
him. I'm gonna tell him chill. You good. You
Okay,
good.
Dave,
I'ma
this
tell him
ass
chill,
capping.
bro. I got you.
I'm not capping.
I'm gonna tell him chill.
What
capping.
capping about what?
I'ma
You
tell him chill.
cabin for you just be saying random shit, gang. Like you be throwing
What's the
me,
random part?
like the shit you be saying, gang. You go from one thing to the next. Like
It's
you
too
just,
complicated for you.
then that gang, you just be saying some crazy shit, gang. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That nigga scratched his head and shit.
I fuck with you though. Like oh, he cool, fool. Like you didn't go. I ain't gonna lie, you didn't gonna go down as like a legend, gang.
Oh yeah.
Cause ain't no nigga ever gave they bitch up for grabs like that, gang. King David, fool. I'm gonna keep it 100, fool.
Strictly that, nothing else.
Yeah, that's all I ever did. Yeah.
Strictly that.
That
If
did kind of
I ain't
eclipse
gonna lie,
everything
fool,
else,
if
right?
it would have been a rapper, the black community, we would have loved you, gang.
I
Like,
do think he raps.
Not he raps for real.
Well, he has a book about his upbringing and it has a big pile of coke on it.
Is
I
it
don't know
not
what's
good?
in the book,
nah, his
but
ass a Nord, but he a goofy. Y'all seen his page? He look like where he from? He a goofy motherfucker.
he's from Louisiana.
Motherfucker, do that to him.
He spelled,
Ain't young boy from over
he
there?
spelled Louisiana wrong on the cover of his own book.
You'll do that to his ass?
Motherfucker, I seen his. He what cowboy hats and shit. Like
Does he?
yeah,
You've
I
seen a
that
lot of
shit
like
on.
Versace shirts and shit.
motherfucker, take him down, boy.
Pause.
Well, then we could be cool.
What you mean, pause?
Pause.
Motherfucker, take him down. Okay, David.
You trying to take a dude down?
I'm talking about backdoor's ass, you know?
Whoa!
What you,
That's
oh,
what
BD, stop
BD
playing
means?
on me, football. Do that to me, y'all. Stop to- you said what? Why is you tweaking with me? Why is you tweaking with me on BD?
Where's
Stop
my
tweaking-
security?
stop
Where's my
tweaking with me
security?
on
I need him in the
King
room.
David. Stop tweaking with me, shorty. Stop tweaking with me. Bro. Why is he tweaking with me,
Hey, this
shorty?
the most violent interview we
On
ever
King
had.
David, y'all capping. On BD, y'all capping.
I was worried it was
Y'all
going to be
tweaking.
boring.
On King
A lot
David,
of
y'all
times the
ass
comedian
tweaking.
dudes are not that funny.
No, this is
Y'all
been one of
tweaking,
the-
folks.
this has been- I'm
Y'all
having
done
a
have
time of my
motherfucker
life,
run up
nigga.
on y'all, take y'all pipe. That's what it
Oh,
is.
I'm
fool.
having a time.
No. We got the pipes.
Nah, we about to call security.
Watch cable-free live TV with no hidden fees.
That's a good interview, bro. Oh man. Adam the reunited. Adam the reunited, whatever it's called, reignited. But he can't leave without the scene.
But I used to get that shit.
That's really the
Well, that
problem.
didn't stop Millie's.
Not Millie's got criticism too. The fuck?
True.
He got criticism the same way anyone else does.
Yeah.
Especially when me and him linked up.
Oh,
You know
yeah?
what I mean? But shout out to bro because he got real ones standing behind him.
That's
You know what
good.
I'm saying? He get love where he's from. He shows love back to where he's from. I don't know if you're interested, but I know he's doing a sneaker give back. I think it's at the end of the month.
Really?
If you want to get in contact with him about that, they're giving away sneakers to the kids in the hood, but he really be tapped in where he's at. And he really got love where he's at. And then you got bum ass Boston rappers that are 30, 40 years old, never done shit with their career, and oh fuck him, he's white.
He's got
from
haters out there now?
Yeah, everybody does though.
Yeah.
You're not gonna find success without that.
Yeah.
So it's like
If you're not bringing people up with you, or like, you know, you're bringing your people up, but if there's
and
always
you
going to be
don't even
salty
gotta
ass
bring
people.
people up. People just ain't gonna like you because they don't got the motion that you got.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of it, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm used to it. All I know is I don't ever have no negative interactions in person.
Right.
Matter of fact, yesterday when I fucking caught these sneakers in the mall in Cambridge, where he's from, I ran into a BPS homie and a Paru
Okay.
inside of the fucking little hat store or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Walked up, what's up? Oh yeah, BPS. He from out here, like his hood from out here. You know what I mean? Mad love. First quarter, take pictures, all that.
Right.
I don't have negative interactions in person. It's always love. 99% of the people that come up to me are black.
Yeah.
But you look at the internet, you would get a different perspective.
Oh, yeah. And that's a weird thing. Like the first time you get canceled or the first time you have like a hate mob on you, you think that you're going to go to the grocery store and everybody's going to be mad at you. And then you realize like, oh, wait, I might have read 1,000 comments about me today, but this shit doesn't usually turn into real life energy.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can say is like, I know I've done videos on people. So I have people come up to me and be like, oh, yeah, you did a video on my friend, da da da. I'm like, all right, what that mean? Was it a good one or a bad one? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. No, it's cool, cool. I don't know the intention behind saying something like that.
Right.
But I've never had a negative interaction.
When we did the live show, you were fully out there embracing everybody, having conversations with everybody, but it did stand out that like this was the first time that you had really put yourself in front of that many fans of you, but also in your city.
Yeah.
How's that memory stand out to you?
That's just raw.
That was sick.
Yeah. I
You
still
look like a
got
big baby.
the t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
He look like a grown baby. This man is a grown baby. No offense, he cool. To do what you do. He's just a grown baby.
In the show, in the rapper and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I be keeping like little memorable things. You know what I'm saying? But that shit was crazy. That was the first time I was on stage. The second time I was on stage was at Millie's show.
He just
So-
brought you out as like a special guest and shit.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Fucking backstage, met Paul Wall, met a couple of other people, and then fucking brought me out on the stage, shouted me out, all that shit, bro. This love for real. Like,
Yeah.
That shit was dope. I ain't never did nothing like that. And I keep like a little memorable thing from like each. Like I still got the backstage pass from the Millie's concert.
Right.
And I fuck with bro. So it's like,
But that is the weird thing too, is that if there was somebody who was burnt out enough that they would want to do something physical to you as a result of shit that you said online,
they're gonna get popped, shot, stabbed, all type of shit. Cause I keep my you see how
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
my
believe it.
situation is always under control.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And I hope nobody tries to do some dumb shit because I keep my situation under control.
but I was to say, the types of people who would do something like that are realistically probably not the types of people that are going to go to a live podcast on like
Nah,
a
I feel
Thursday
like,
night
I
or
feel
whatever.
like it would be somebody that would like come up with a camera or something.
Oh, that's definitely
Yeah, I don't think it would really be on some like street shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I worry about that sometimes.
Knock on wood, but everywhere I move, I always make sure shit's situated.
Definitely. Has you exposing so many people and revealing all these snitches? Is that something that makes you want to move even a little bit more careful? I mean, you're kind of like off tucked away in Boston, so it's like you're not reporting on people from Boston almost ever. But does that
Well, the thing about Boston and New York is you really can't get paperwork.
really?
Yeah. The Commonwealth states, you really don't get shit.
Oh,
Virginia's another one. So it's not that I avoid Boston. It's just that I'm not really able to get the shit.
Right.
But as far as being tucked away, I mean, I'm still Florida, New York,
Right.
you know, so it's like I be out there, but I don't put myself in certain situations. I don't go looking for shit. Like the whole reason I never wanted to be a rapper is because I didn't want all the beef that comes with it. But I found myself in the same situation anyway. So I don't know. Maybe I just need to drop some songs or something.
Well, I think about it sometimes too, because I got all these people around me that can rap real good. And sometimes I think, like, why don't I just get them to help me out, write a song, say a bunch of crazy ass shit? I got all kinds of stuff in my head. I feel like I could get like a skeleton of a verse from them and then just change the shit, make it
imagine
exactly
if
what I
I
want to
made a
say.
diss song on everybody that ratted,
Yeah.
that I exposed. Shit gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna come with what it comes with. But you know,
I'll probably get hooked on it crazy because I know the music earns a lot of money too, and you could really work on that back catalog.
start performing,
I don't know if I have the voice for it.
try it out.
Apparently, I have the voice for this, but I don't know if that would translate to like something people would really want to
Y'all
listen
got a
to.
fucking studio. I've seen it.
We do.
Yeah.
Very few people have recorded music in there though.
Get that shit going.
I thought about it, but oh man, sometimes I'm just like, I remember when I first started doing hip hop shit, like content wise, my mom said to me, she goes, Adam, you got to promise me that you're not going to start rapping. And I was like, Mom, I'm not going to start rapping. What the fuck? Like I was just laughing at her. Now here I am considering it. And it's like, I always took that as like really good advice from her. But at the same time, I don't know. Sometimes like just doing the craziest thing possible. I've definitely seen that over the last couple of weeks. Like you just do the craziest thing possible and it gets you a shitload of attention. And then that attention usually converts into something positive, even if there's also a lot of criticism that comes with it.
Yeah.
Clearly I'm referencing
Well, I mean-
a porn star fucking my bitch.
Yeah, that you crazy for that. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody's been asking me about that shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Everyone who
why
I've
did-
ever known in my whole life is basically telling me like, yo, people are asking me about you left
Yeah.
and right.
Like, what are we supposed to say for you?
He's a porn star.
That they're not satisfied with that.
I know.
Like, we need some fucking detailed. You know what I mean? Like, that's I don't know, some crazy shit, dog.
It's weird because people always want to make it like way more interesting. Like it's not good enough for it to just be like, oh yeah, like she did a scene with another porn star. It has to be like, well, she's cheating on him. The relationship's gonna fall apart. You know, he's mad as fuck. And it's like, no, like it actually was like just a straight business thing, you know? And apparently she's a very good actress. She was biting the bed sheet and everything.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
See, he's so respectful that he don't even want to comment on it or act like he's seen the memes.
People kill people about shit like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people kill over women.
Mm.
So for you to feel that secure in your relationship as a white man to hand over her to a BBC, which has been all over, that's some crazy shit.
No, yeah, it's definitely some crazy
Yeah,
shit.
I don't think I personally could do that.
I don't think most people could.
Nah, but that's what sets you apart.
Yeah. You got to be willing. If you really want to go truly viral, you have to be willing to do something that other people are so shocked by they would never even consider it.
Isn't that what people say that's selling your soul though?
See, I never felt like that. She never felt like that. Like one time, a day or two after she did the scene with him, I just called her a cheater. And she just looked at me like it was the most shocking allegation. I was just like, you fucking cheater.
How do you feel about everybody saying I got next?
It's like, if you're gonna be a porn star in general, you have to be really willing to like kind of roll with the punches and just be willing to joke around about it and stuff. Like Antonio Brown today, like because every day that goes by, I think, oh, the media frenzy is gonna slow down at some point. Which the tape is out, so that's like
she's going crazy.
Yeah, well, the tape is out, so that's like the beginning of it becoming less of a thing. And then today, I look at Twitter and I see Antonio Brown say, "Yo, I got next," and he tags me, and I'm like, "Oh, well, okay."
Let me ask you.
There it
right?
is.
Do you think that there's a female that you could fuck that would put you on an equal level? Where it's like you got get back?
I mean, I already fucked so many hot porn stars with her that she already knows about, which is a big part
You know,
of
that
why I
shit
felt
kinda
all right
fucks
with
me
it.
up. Like when I find someone, I'm like, damn, she's bad. Then I find out you fucked her. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
That kind of does something. I ain't gonna lie.
There was a porn star who I actually think is one of the hottest porn stars, and she like this is many years ago. She had a threesome with me and Lennon, and she was eating my ass, and it was like we were drinking all day, so I had like terrible midday diarrhea, and then she starts eating my ass, and I told one of my homies, and he actually like said that he has not been able to jerk off to her since. So
Yeah, nah, that would fuck up everything.
to me, her being a shit eater is kind of hot.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. She a little freak.
That's why you're Adam 22.
Yeah, I got a different disposition. I got
You're
a different level
but
of
I'm-
tolerance.
But I'm
you
still
know?
rocking with you. I got the 22 on.
Appreciate it.
I'm still rocking.
Was that
with you.
intentional that you wore that today? Oh, okay.
Fucking right. This is a mirror. You know how much I spent on it? Like 7 something just to fucking
Damn.
Adam 22. The palm trees.
I've
all
walked
that
by
shit.
the Amiri section at Saks Fifth a few
You'll
times.
go
and-
broke in that bitch. That shit's so fucking expensive.
yeah,
I have actually been a customer of BetterHelp for a little over 2 years now. And I was able to get matched up with a therapist in like 24 hours, 48 hours.
and I'm looking at it, I'm like, a lot of this stuff is a little too loud for me. I don't think I got it in me.
Yeah, I be buying that shit, not even asking, and then I fucking go home and cry about it.
Really?
Yeah, but I like it though.
How much is the most you ever blown on clothes at once?
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah. When I did the skit pretending to buy her the Lambo truck, got into it.
Oh,
for
you
a second.
didn't buy that?
No. But which is crazy because like the New York Post reported on it today.
I thought you bought that.
Nah, that was a joke. But I was actually at like a pretty famous rental car spot in LA too. So I was like, this has gotta.
Fucking cloud chaser.
Yeah. That was my idea. And that was one of the things that went the
Going
most viral was me
Yeah.
pretending to buy that shit. But I sat in it for a second and I was like, I could see myself driving this. This
No,
thing's
I,
kind of
I,
hard.
I didn't do some shit like that before. I got a picture on my Instagram when I got my silver plaque. I bought some silver Jordans, and I got them from some sneakers fucking thing or whatever. And when I got them, there was a scuff on one of them,
Okay.
and I'm like, I'm not paying for this because they were expensive, and the tags were still on them, but they were on one sneaker. So when I took the picture with the sneaker that looked good, that didn't have the tags on it. I put the plaque next to it, and then right after I took the picture, I returned them bitches. So I still got my picture. I didn't have to pay shit.
Yeah. It's just so easy to troll the media at a certain point. Once they realize that your name is ringing bells and you actually are going to be a draw and you're going to get clicks, then it's like their filter for you lying just kind of like goes way down and they're just down to post whatever about you because they know it's going to work. And like if you watch that video, like her reaction to getting the Lambo truck is like it's so obvious that this is not a real thing.
Yeah.
But you know, people don't really think about all that.
I don't think I even watched the whole video. I just seen you, her, the Lambo, and then I remembered it was right after the whole Jason Love shit. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You're just giving her the world.
Yeah. No, that's my
Crazy.
baby for sure. I got no hard feelings about her. I was sick yesterday. She was taking care of me like the most loyal fucking servant possible. And I was just thinking, I'm like, this is what people need to see. They need to know how tight me and her really are.
They got to see this side of things.
Yeah.
Not
So
how
maybe that's the next step.
loose her pussy is. All right, I'm gone, bro.